to. CP&C should remain unchanged. Renewal fees should remain the same. The logic behind this is that the city is interested to manage and regulate it because it's also the city's source of revenue. CP&C is the driver's investment. As the recovery of recent pandemic is gradually coming up, its value is gradually going up again. Our drivers advise us not to carry CP&C discussions at the time. Also, equipment to determine taxi fares should be optimal. We want to maintain our current taxi meters, and anybody can use any scientific equipment, but we, the drivers, will keep our meters. We need 10-year car age limit. If we achieve those 3 items, we will be happy, plus special consideration to Kevin. Good luck, and let us know something. This is from one of the 2 representatives who were in the meetings with us at the airport, who I updated every time I had a conversation with the law department on this legislation. So there's been nothing designed to keep anyone uninformed. Our efforts, we believe, were keeping everyone who was involved informed. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Checker Cab. A couple years ago, this city did a proclamation for Checker at 75 years in business. This is a 4th-generation family. Rick Hewitt is grandfather and father started the business. His son, Tristan, is in the room today. The business model is different than the airport. They do very little business at the airport. Their business model is basically a dispatch. You pick up the phone and call Checker, now someone's going to answer that phone and come to your house or come to your place of business and pick you up. They don't have cars just waiting in the bullpen at the airport. So again, this notion that this whole thing was for them to take over the airport is just simply not true. Rick Hewitt himself has been a national leader in the taxi cab industry. He's a past president of what was once known as TLPA, the Taxi Cab Limousine and Paratransit Association. He's an honest man who runs an excellent company. He's worked tirelessly on behalf of this industry. He believes in the taxi cab industry. And all throughout this process, his effort has been to do what he believes will improve the industry. Other cities around us have taken in many of these changes, like for instance, the digital meters being authorized, cities like Birmingham, Nashville, Charlotte. Nothing, again, the line, no deed goes unpunished. This has been good work. The 10-year age limit will benefit everybody. The fare increase that we got last year benefited everybody. And it's unfortunate, I'm not here to accuse any specific individual of a falsehood, but somewhere in the mix, a bunch of misinformation got into the stream, which led to an enormous emotional reaction, people feeling like their livelihoods were being threatened, when that's not the case. And at the last council meeting, understood that the paper would be held and give us a chance to vet these issues. As I mentioned, I am in active discussion with who we now understand the leaders of the association are. We're hopeful that we can find some resolution, but we think it's very important for the public, for you as policymakers, to understand that there is nothing that has been nefarious about this effort. And, you know, again, this is a public process. This legislation was introduced in January. It was held for months while we worked through this. And again, meetings with the airport, meetings with the law department, where these taxi cab representatives, who at that time, I understand they've been displaced, but at that time were the president and vice president of the association. So we would hope, as we take this additional time to work through these issues, that the air will be clear and there will be an understanding that there has been no effort by Checker Cab, by me as their representative, to harm this industry. We may ultimately have some areas we don't agree on, and then you as policymakers make the decision. That's your role. But we don't want it to be made against a cloud of maligning and disinformation and disparagement, when, again, all of our efforts have been to try to do things that we think will improve the industry and make it more able to compete with Uber and Lyft and other vehicle for hire platforms. Thank you for your attention, and look forward to seeing you in future meetings.
Thank you. So I would like to officially call the meeting to order. Wednesday, 24th, Transportation Committee of Atlanta City Council. I am Byron Amos. I am joined by my colleagues and committee members. To my far left, Councilmember Dozier, Councilmember Faroque, and our Vice Chair, Councilmember Collier Overstreet. With that done, I make a motion to approve the agenda. Motion has been made in second. Please open the vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Agenda is adopted. I make a motion to approve the minutes. Motion is made in second.
Open. Vote is open. Vote is closed.
The minutes is approved. Okay, our main goal here today is, of course, to hear the concerns of everyone signed up. I'm also balancing that with safety concerns. What I would like to do now, colleagues, and I think I am in order, is to take us to page 5 on the agenda, the item that I think most of the people is signed up to speak on, because I know you want to trust, but trust comes with verification as well. So, Mr. Overton, if you could read that caption, I'd like to take this item first, please, before we get back to public comment.
Item number 10, 24-01031, a substitute ordinance by council members Byron D. Amos and Keisha Shawn Waits as amended by the Atlanta City Council to amend Chapter 2, Article 3, Division 7, and to amend Chapter 162, Article 2 of the Atlanta City Code of Ordinances to amend the City of Atlanta's Code of Ordinances and City of Atlanta's regulations related to taxi cab and rideshare services to ensure a level playing field is maintained between vehicle for hire services by providing a taxi cab may utilize a cellular telephone, a portable telephone, a standalone computer, a global positioning system receiver, or a substantially similar portable wireless device as a taximeter by replacing the requirement that taxi cab companies must have all their taxi cabs painted the same color, in favor of requirements concerning signage or emblems which mirror such requirements applicable to rideshare drivers under state law, to raise the permissible age of a taxi or rideshare vehicle from 7 years to 10 years, to reduce the burden of entry on taxi, limousine, or rideshare drivers operating at the airport, by repealing the requirement that a vehicle inspection as a prerequisite to the issuance of a permit to operate at the airport, and for other purposes.
Thank you, sir. I make a motion to hold.
Second.
Motion has been made in second. Any discussion? Seeing none, please open the vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Thank you. The motion carries. The paper will be held in committee. To the public, this paper will be held here in committee. It will not move forward until I, and like I say, my colleagues and I have met with representatives in which many have been identified. So if that encouraged you not to speak today, because we have 6 pages of people signed up, at least you know the paper is held now, and no decision and no discussion will take place on the paper today. So with that being said, we will get back to sign in, and please, if I mispronounce your name, please just, add it to the Southern dialect. But Mr. Kindane, would you like to speak, sir? Okay. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, everybody, for giving me a chance. We are here like we presented about a week ago. We are working hard people. We don't need any change. We knew all the regulations. We are abide by the City of Atlanta. Also, ground transportation. All the proposal, we saw it. There are some frustrations. We already seen it. So please, I'm kindly requesting you to keep like what it is, because we all hardworking people, we all have enough device to implement our work. Like, for example, telephone, clean cars, squares, and everything, we have it. So to me and to all these cab drivers, I don't think we need anything else. At this moment, we are fairly comparable with all kind of taxi industries throughout the world. At this particular moment, we are kindly requesting you. Again, I hope you all understand our time on all the efforts to spend here. We are all family leaders. To me, for example, myself, I was in dental office yesterday. I still have pain here. but I'm here to address the issue. Please kindly implement our demand to keep like what it is. So thank you, appreciate, God bless you guys for giving the opportunity to speak. So this time is enough for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Please, I'm going to ask for the applaud to stop. That adds seconds to our meeting, so please don't applaud. Mr. Ken Tekle, Tekle. Okay. Would you like to speak, sir? You have to be next on the list, sir. What's
Ahmed.
Nope, I have a Mr. Gebryanis, Gebreyesul, I think this is. It is, all right, good. Right.
Van Howard.
Mr. Hart. Hold on a minute.
Not prior. No. I'm on the very first sheet.
Very first sheet.
Yes, sir.
And your name again?
Van Dyke Howard.
Howard. Got
Yes.
you. Hold on 1 second. Oh, this gonna add time. Okay, sir, you have 6 minutes.
To council, thank you all for allowing us to come here, allowing me to speak. We had a meeting, which you already know, last week. And we got into the taxi cab drivers and the taxi meters, rather, and the taxi light, CPNC number. Being a transportation driver, we know that it's a part of the public to get to know the drivers. As I said before, I've been in taxi about 18 years. A lot of my work has been taxi driving. Also, I'm a minister as well. In regard to the changes that they trying to work to be changed in regard to electronic device, an app. As I've stated before, the taximeter have done the correct thing as for letting people know what the prices are when we take them to a destination. Holding an app or some type of electronic device will cause confusion with those who we are transporting to their destination. The light recognized all over the country as a taxi driver, professional who has been around for years, that we have been in business. All of this that's coming along to change, to make new, and would cause problem at the airport and for the taxi drivers. To allow this to happen in regarding the taxi drivers who have been doing it for a while, trying to take care of their families. Some of them are old, can't hardly get around, but the thing is that we all are here to how would you say, stand up against what is going on without allowing us to
have our own committee, have our own president, which we are getting prepared for this city. If they allow us to get this put together where you all can say, okay, everything is in order, we don't have no mix-up, they have a stamp, it's sealed, all of these things would be in place. As I stated before, we go through fingerprint, we go through getting our, our license changed to share driving. We're not trying to be like Uber. We're not trying to be like Lyft, okay? Because that's created a problem. They already have come in. They have killed off a lot of the taxis already. But we as the taxi driver should be separate because we're using the meters. They see what we are doing. They're not trying to look at no app. They're not trying to look at no type of device that they're trying to put in this new age, in this new time. We're trying to maintain, peace among our people who are coming in, needing to go to a destination. We're not trying to be rebuttal against this new thing that's coming along, but we're trying to keep things calm and peaceful. This that's coming on is causing confusion. We're causing confusion later on down the line. Thank you for the time to allow me to come up here and speak. We all come out here to say we don't accept it because it's not going to do but create problems. Maybe with the other driver, with the other companies, Uber and Lyft, they're going through what they need to go through to do what they have to do. But we as taxi drivers come out here to say we stand up, we stand firm, we hold on, we stay focused on what we need to do as a taxi driver, using a meter, using a top light, having our CPNC number, that we had to make sure that it was legal. Thank you for your time. God bless you all. I hope you come to a decision that will have benefit to us. Bless you.
Thanks, sir. Our next speaker is Diallo Ibrahima.
On the first page.
What is your name, sir?
Tony Ibarra.
Oh, you're not on the list. I mean,
The first page.
hey, your first page is not my first page, so. Okay, go ahead. You have 6 minutes. I found you.
Also, he yield his time to me. At the bomb.
He has the max.
Who else?
He yield his time to me.
Name.
Yeah.
Your name, sir. Okay. You have 9 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Council lady and women. It's a pleasure to talk to you about our concern regarding the legislation is going on now. Let me first of all clarify, we are not allergic to change, but change had to be relative. Change had to add value to what you already have. We cannot, because we want to change something and destroy what is working. This is why we're here. Now, while we're sitting down there, the guy sitting next to me showed me a definition of a taxi. A taxi is a vehicle that somebody uses to transport somebody for fare. Unlike rideshare, where you provide it, maybe for gratitude for whatever reason. And he said, taxi in itself provide a kind of security to the passenger, because the passenger knew that it is regulated, that somebody actually said it, somebody had to go through vigorous test before he could become a taxi driver. And that is what is bringing our business back today, because sure, Uber is the big guy on the block, but because of their behavior, whatever it is, I'm not going to talk about them, but people are gravitating towards taxi, especially at the airport. And this is why we're saying all these changes that are being proposed here, it's not going to add value to the industry, except the 10-year age limit. Let me tell you why. When you gave us 2-year extension, we utilize it. Some of us save money to buy new cars. I urge you, sir, to come to the Atlanta Airport taxi bullpen, we call it bullpen, and see the quality of cars out there. You have 2024, 2022, a lot of it. As a matter of fact, people are saying that your cars, I mean the passengers, that your cars are better than Uber, and you keep it clean. And we have manners. We train ourselves for that because we are the ambassador. That's what you call us. We the first the visitors see when they come to Atlanta. We tell them the history of Atlanta. We tell them the restaurants, the good places there. And we are the last they see when they're leaving. They tell us how they perceive the city. And sometimes we tell them, okay, if what you experience this time, maybe we take it to the authorities. That's how important we are to the city. Now, let's take the top light that this proposal is trying to remove. It is our advertisement. We cannot afford to go to television to advertise, but that top light advertise who we are. We are taxi. Well, we're proud of it. We don't want to be Uber. If anybody here wants to be Uber, they should go to Uber. Uber is always looking for drivers because of the rate of turnover there. It's our security, the top light. If you drive to somebody at night, you drop somebody off, you want to revise, and you drive to somebody's driveway, you open the door or flip his light. When you saw that sign, taxi, they know, oh, you're not harmful, you're harmless. They wave at you, you go. There have been numerous times that top light saved life. I know there's not much time here. There was an incident about 15 years ago. A notorious gangster was being wanted in New York. He managed to get to Atlanta and caught a taxi. The way he was talking, the driver panicked and punched 911. With that top light, the cab police traced this cab until they were able to stop the guy along with the criminal and caught him. What saved him? That top light. Now, the meter, that's what they want to eliminate so badly here. The meter is a leveler. It reduces the level of argument. When a passenger gets into your car and you flip that meter on, there is confidence. And by the way, this meter is sealed. Nobody can tamper with it. It's a tamper-proof. So when you eliminate the meter and ask everybody, come with what you want, whatever you want, device you want, what value is that going to add other than to create confusion, overcharge? And when the airport is inundated with calls that people are overcharging, you'll be forced here to come back to regulate us, maybe harder, because you have a lot of things to do. The meter works well. And by the way, there are new meter in the market now. They call it a micrometer. It does virtually everything anybody can think of. The price is very high now, but when technology comes, the price is high, then with a period of time, it will go down. A lot of about up to 20 cab drivers have already installed into their system. The meter also helps the driver in a situation where there is traffic. When there is traffic, the meter will be clicking because it is time and velocity. When you stop moving, the time kicks in. If you take away the meter, for every 30 miles trip, you're robbing the driver $20. So I don't see what other device that's going to be better than that. If somebody has come up with a beautiful device that can better his or her business, we are independent cab drivers, and there are over 12 cab companies. That individual should go better his company with it. And if it's new Eldorado, I think a lot of us will just join that company. So somebody should not drag all of us into a system that we're already operating on a marginal, and we have to be paying somebody some money. I know. Now, what about the inspection? The inspection annually, if you go, this is inspection period, go there, all cars are very squeaky clean, painted, because we prepare for it. The meter is checked. You run a certain mileage, and the bureau will check the meter. If it's 25 seconds more or less, they give you do not operate until you go to correct it. That's the importance of meter. I'm sure some of my colleagues will talk about the color and some other things. Please, don't break it. Don't fix it. If it's not broken, don't try to fix it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next on our list will be Mr. Ephraim. Mr. Ephraim.
I was not ready to talk, but thank you, guys. Good morning. I'm Saifo Abraha. I own American Cup and the Pitch Cup. I've been here for 30 years. I know Mr. Checker. I know all the companies. But Mr. Checker or Checker is not representing my company. And all I know is all this what you see are CPNC numbers. Some of them are bought from the city. Some of them are bought from the older drivers for $60,000, $70,000. And all these drivers own CPNC numbers to work, to make money, to make a living for $60,000 and $70,000. The city has sold itself. And these drivers are working with Square. And Square is giving them the gross income of every year. And they are paying their taxes. What's wrong? We are already pressed and down because of Lyft and Uber. And still you don't want us to stand and live. Really, I appreciate if you stop all what is going on. And Checker owns Checker. Let them run it. They have 300 CPNC numbers. It was given free. It was given free for them. But we latecomers, I've been here for 30 years. I bought all these things. I don't have any other investment. 30 years, you see me that I'm old guy. What am I going to do? This is unfair. The city should support us. We are supporting the city. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Nesru Mahmoud.
Me.
Okay.
Good morning, council members, ladies and gentlemen. My name is, the time is, I have two, Muhammad Duale, and all of them.
Hold
I have
on.
the maximum.
Stop. So it'll take you and two other people.
Two other people. Muhammad?
I need names.
Muhammad Duale. Muhammad Duale.
Hold on. Let me find the first one.
Abdul Hakim. Who else? One of you. Tekle. Tekle. So I have the maximum you allow, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
That's there the maximum. Yeah.
Okay. You have 9 minutes.
9 minutes. Okay, council members, good morning to all of you. My name is Abdi Ahmed, and I'm speaking about the changes, upcoming changes for this taxi industry. Now, the council person first started by saying that they played everything in fair playing field. But the thing is, if you see all these people, and you have this legislation, and they did not know a word about it, they wake up, I pull up from the records office, nobody let them know anything, including myself. And when we read this, it became very obvious that our business is to be taken by someone. That someone will not be mentioned by name. Whoever that is, he's designed to destroy everything we have as identity, and therefore later on, any car walks in like Uber and Lyft, and then put up on his app, whatever. That company used to make a lot of money, of course.
Uber and Lyft killed us all, not only him. We all being killed by Uber and Lyft. But changes come. Life has changed. It's changing on us. We accepted it. We went broke. We went to the negative. Now for him to think, to pass a legislation, to change the industry itself at the airport, the only place we have a venue of business to make a living and take it over, is not right. And I hope you guys stop that. All the 600 people are depending on your decision that you make on this today, whether they make a living or not. Some of us too old for anything else. Look at me, 67 years old. Am I going back to do manual jobs that I did? I had 3 children, they graduated. I wanted somewhere to go and at least spend time and come additional money for my additional to the Social Security benefits, which is nothing nowadays, you know it. So, the design, when I read this, I told everybody how dangerous it is, how it was designed to take over. Now, if you look at the taxi cab industry, we have identities. The top light is where everybody knows, come from any part of the world. You know when you see my top light, hey, can I have a ride? That's my identity. Okay, now, when you go from there, have a paint, how beautiful it is to have all white cars, very observable. You can see it from distance, and you can see the names, the company name and everything. And on the top of the side of the car, we have everything expressed to our passengers, like how much you will pay, flat rate zone, how much the rate will be. And thank you very much, guys, Antonio Luis, for giving us a little more life to it last time. So we were very happy that was given to us in 20 years. It was not even adjusted for inflation, let alone increase of the rate. See, there's a difference of adjustment for the inflation or increase of the rate. But anyway, all that helped us. So taxi drivers have a complete identity. So when the passenger comes to us, and he comes up from Lewis car on the airport, he sees us from there. One, he trusts us because we've been around for 100 years. Talked about Uber Lyft. I work for them. They abuse me, I quit. That's fine. But that passenger knows what to pay, who he's riding with, safety, everything. There are people who give us their numbers as we drop them at their homes and please, can you pick me up? I'm going to the airport. Why? Because they trust these ladies and gentlemen here. And then for you, this legislation will put out 600 people out of work. Out of work. All these people will have no job come if you pass this legislation. What we're asking you to is to compare one person, one company versus 600 people, 600, more than that, more than that. It's fine, it's fine. The minimum, we take the minimum, guys. 600 people versus one person. 6 companies versus one person. Then, because he might have a deeper pocket, he can come up with the app and everything. He would say, okay, take my app, go work. We spend 18 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours minimum to make 2-3 trips. We are happy with it. We're not unhappy. Because that one, when we go there, we know we're not paying nobody except the city of Alana or the regulation what we have to pay. But look, then somebody will come there and say, look, no. It's the same thing. There's no creation. He's not creating new jobs. He's not giving me more customers. But he will tell me, sit there, 12 hours for 3 trips. You pay me 20% because of the legislation. So we ask you not to pass this legislation as it is. We love the 10 years. We've been asking you every day, every year. We come to you in front of you, myself, other friends. We come here to ask you the 10 years. Why? You make us work for dealers instead of working for ourselves by passing the 7 years. I don't know what the thinking was then, but when they kick us out from city of Alana, Buckhead, when we lost everything for Uber and Lyft, what was left for us was right, airport. 16 income
at the airport. We used to wait 3 hours, and they know it, to wait to get in, let alone, then when you get in, you wait 4 hours. But with that 2 trips, something is better than nothing. We made our living. So what we're asking you in short is like, please do not pass this legislation as it is. If you look at the meter, taxi meter is very important. It calculates everything by the GPS, and the customer knows what to pay. And if you see the top light, the same thing, is identity. And if you like the signs that's given on the side, is all important for the passenger side. Your passengers at the airport, the busiest airport in the world, deserves to have a choice between Uber, Lyft, or taxi. So we are the second choice for them. So consider that as the busiest or airport is having taxi. If you take all those signs out, the top light out, the color is different, anybody can walk in like Uber and Lyft, they will be confused. They don't know what to do. So please, again, we ask you not to pass it. If you look at it, the airport, we have business there. We do everything the way we're supposed to do it, and we are happy. Why come up with the change? Who is making the change? And if my previous gentleman talk about us knowing everything, we did not know. Who he told, we don't know. But we, all these people you see, and more are at the city, at the airport, because they have an inspection, they didn't come. We did not know. So for him to pass this legislation against us is not fair. We ask you, we request from you to decline this as it is, and we will talk with you as what improvement we can make. But the only thing from here we need, and I'm telling everybody here, is the 10 years. Everything else has to go. Thank you very much. My name is Abdul.
Thank you. Ms. Lewis.
And Mr. Abdul.
Yes, Abdul.
So you mentioned my name. I wanted to make sure I ask a few questions. And so you,
Yes, sir.
I know, coming from the union world who represents taxi drivers in every other state except the state of Georgia, when I hear about you said 1 person versus 600, are you saying that the one company has hired a lobbyist and you all are drivers?
Okay. What will happen with this legislation, now we are working independent.
No,
yes.
I'm being specific.
Wait,
I'm saying,
excuse me.
Specific, okay.
Point of order. Hold on.
Okay, I'm talking about,
Because-
yes, sir.
It's conversation. I know questions and comments are meant for council people, but to get questions answered by general public is my call. I'm gonna ask you not ask questions. You can make comments, but yeah, we need to have a meeting. Because, and also, please, if you have spoken, I'm asking you to leave because we are at the limit in this room. So there will be a meeting. Actually, Mr. Muhammad, there's someone from my office standing in back right now to get your information to make sure I got it, and Mr. Tony as well. So yes, but please, no questions because everyone
Okay.
wants to.
I got some comments to make then. I got some comments to make then.
I have 51 seconds left. But anyway, what I'm trying to say in this case is like we have 600 people driving as taxi drivers at the airport. And then we have 6 companies. But one company sponsored this bill, and he want to regulate and take over the airport. That's what we see in here. Because it's not written for us, it's written for him. That's what I'm saying.
And I still have comments. Thank you. That's different from other committees. The comments I would have is, you all have now missed 2 days of work by coming on council meeting day and today. That isn't typical of cab drivers. I appreciate you for your time. You said that last year's upgrades were the first upgrades in 20 years. I would say that I did go to the dugout, and we made those upgrades 1 week after that. So I appreciate you all meeting with me and giving me that comments last year. The next thing I want to say is we have changed the laws in the city of Atlanta only from the 7 to 10 years. But I wanted to make sure that my colleagues know that the state of Georgia, and so if you're in an Uber in the city of Atlanta, the state of Georgia has a law that allows your car to be 15 years of age. And if you're in a Lyft in the city of Atlanta, the state of Georgia has allowed your car to, as long as it's 2010 or better, no matter what year, it could be 2030. As long as you have a 2010, you're good. So I do hear you. Thank you again.
We have Sifa Abraha. So, sir?
Yeah, I am a senior cab driver. I was driving since 1985. I make my life from the taxi hood, and I really enjoy since Andrew Young. We've been at the Olympic. We was having a certificate that say ambassadors. These people, they work hard. And also, they really to tell you the truth, they're highly educated people. They are not average people who there. You can come to there and check them. I really appreciate how they speak, especially Tony, how he clarified everything. Life is easy, unless you make yourself difficult. I'm a member of owner of Omega Company. I'm in favor of the company, but I wonder and ask a question. What make him as a checker by himself to hire a lawyer and go to the legislators without any other company? Even though we broke, we lost as a company so much money. Like the gentleman say on beach, we invest our money in numbers, CBNCs. We pay $50,000. Well, some of us will pay $70,000. We was expecting city, if they increase the fee in $100 and give us more protection, and the city have more revenue to themselves and to protect us, because the CBNC belongs to the city of Atlanta. If you make medallia and give us, we will be appreciated, because each one of us and I buy number. But the reason we buy from the city, we will pay more taxes to the city, and we'll be the city people. But Lyft and Uber, they are companies, they have a right to do what they to do. For us, we're under the law of the city of Atlanta. We need a protection from them to protect us, the interests of the city, the beauty of the city, and we have to be a good representative. When we see that, we speak all the language. I speak 5 languages, okay? I talk to everybody his language. And reason I tell the city of Atlanta, I toured them, I told them how it is the city good, and I tell them about the Coca-Cola company, I tell them all the big companies, and how the city of Atlanta, the improvement. I seen my own eyes, the change happened in Atlanta. In 1981, I was in here, I come from Birmingham, I'm from Alabama. When I come from Birmingham, Atlanta was the same size and same thing. Atlanta, when they opened the airport, it took a speed of light. Second one, when Mayor Andrew Young left it to 1990 to Tokyo and talk about the Olympics, all African guys and all Arab guys, they vote for him, plus Coca-Cola fight for that one. But the Greek people, they say, they stolen our 100 years of Olympic. We don't stolen, we campaigning, we got it. Next 100 years, we can get the Olympic back because we did it. Overall, what I'm saying is, if City Hall, if you went to something for...
Sir, you're over your time. I'm gonna stop you there. That should have been done before he started to speak. Mr. Yosit Tegan. Yosit Tegan. Abbas Foy. Abbas Foy. Mr. Torre. Dore. Hold on, I'm trying. You said Torre? Dore. Last name, page 4. Got you. Okay. You go ahead, sir. You have 6 minutes.
I'll give him my time.
And your name, sir? Okay, go ahead, sir. You have 9 minutes.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, City Council, all the employees, City of Atlanta, everybody is here. We were there last week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your concern, and especially Mrs. Mercy, that she showed very good concern about how this business was done under the table. We are here as a veteran of City of Atlanta. I've been here 2 years before the Olympics. I've been operating City of Atlanta
Gotcha.
all my life, 29 years. And we've been serving the city. We serve Atlanta Airport and in the city. I mean, this legislation in front of us is a legislation where we don't see anything to prove to the industry, except throwing into a chaos, different colors, different devices, different things, which we don't need it. We already have something that is working. And I would urge you to come to the city. We have ground transportation, we have Atlanta Police Department, we have taxi law enforcement. We also have a taxi status that is contracted more than $7 million. Everything is working orderly fashion. We have no problem. But where we have the problem is where City of Atlanta, downtown, Midtown, and Buckhead, where law enforcement has been abandoned, where chaos ensued. Anybody can do anything. Anybody can operate as a taxi. You can have a private car and put a dome light. You can yell at the people. There's a lot of things happening in the city. I want you guys to look at what we need to be working on, rather than working on something that is not necessary. 80% of our passengers in the airport is women. Why? Because they trust us. They will not be solicited. They will not ask any question at the airport. I'm going from here to Midtown. We take them, thank you, bye. Atlanta Airport has implemented credit card since early 90s. We have all kinds of machines, bank machines, square processor. We have no problem. Everything runs well-oiled machine. Why do you want to have a green color, a blue color, to enter the industry? Some people invested $60,000, $70,000 to buy a brand new car. They invest about $500 to $700 to put a new meter, signs, and dome lights. And they are happy to do it because this is how they make their livelihood. Please, Mr. Ames, I'm urging you, this is the second time we are coming here. All these drivers, they have family, they have children in school, they have kids in college. They have everything in line for them to come here every day. How many times do you need us to postpone and keep coming back here and make these gentlemen and ladies to come here? For what? For God's sake. Stop this thing. Let us just move on. If you give them 10 years, they ask you, give them. If you don't want the 10 years, or if you guys don't want the 10 years, keep the 7 years, whatever. But don't make us to come here every day and just wasting our time, paying parking, taking time off. Some people have dentist office. Some are seniors, they have to go doctors. Some of them have to work. Some of them have to pay bills. How many times do we need to postpone this thing? That we keep coming back here to ask you, for God's sake, just abandon these things and work on downtown and Midtown and Buckhead. The best Congress in southeast of the United States is the George Wall Congress Center. Even taxi drivers are not allowed to pick up passengers or to stage anymore. Right now, as we're speaking, I cannot go ahead and pick up a passenger even though I have every right to do that. I cannot go ahead and stage and pick up a passenger. We have, as we're speaking, we have 20,000 conventioneers that we pick them from the airport and we put them in the convention center. But you know what? The police told me you cannot stop here and pick up. If I will take your number, why CBNC? Because it's 4-digit numbers. If you take my number, you know where I am. A lot of times we drop passengers in Marriott Marquis, in Hyatt. They look at the camera, 4 numbers, they call the airport, oh, so-so driver, I left a wallet there. Or I left a computer. or I left my briefcase. Everything. So what we need to work on right now is how we're going to get back enforcement in the city of Atlanta downtown and Midtown and Buckhead. Enforcing the rules, allowing drivers to make a living. Convention center, we cannot make a living. Police officers tell us, if you don't have no passenger to pick up, don't come here. We as the taxi drivers, our number is called Certificate of Public Necessity and Convenience. It means that when the driver is there stationed, the passenger can come out. But what the Congress did, give a legs up to Uber and Lyft, because when the passenger comes out and he just want to go to the airport, if he doesn't see that taxi driver is right there, what do? He will call Uber and Lyft. Okay, if you need a different car and different colors and different things, our old taxi stage, take over by Uber and Lyft. They have more than 300 cars, different colors and different things. If you want it, you can call them. But we are uniform, we are universal, we are well known. And soon, in about 2 years, we will hold the World Cup. All the people come from Brazil, Argentina, Asia. What do they know? Universally, they know taxi. Why do you want to end these things? And why do we need to come back another day? We're tabling this issue again and again and again. For what? Let us just end the dissonant things once for all and move on so we can work and do our jobs. Please, ladies and gentlemen, we are here pleading you, and we need to do the right thing. For all these people, majority of them are elderly. They cannot work manual jobs. They cannot work in companies. This is what they do. They come there, they chat, they make few trips, and they move on their life, respectively. They are not here to get anybody. They are not here to rip off anybody. Rates are written there. When you come out of the airport, there is a rate written in there. A passenger can look at that rate and go according to plan. Where you go to Midtown, you go downtown, you go Buckhead, you use the flat rate. If you go anywhere else, you run the meter. No if and but. It's already done. The work has been done. The city works so hard to make everything in orderly fashion. We have 4 different enforcement. Just to pick up one passenger, you have 4 people watching over you. What can you do wrong? No, you do the right thing, you move on. I've been doing it 29 years. 0 complaint to the Atlanta airport. If me and passenger disagree, for sake of argument, I said, you know what? If you don't like my service, the fare is free. Because $20, $30 cannot hurt me. But my reputation matters. I make it right. We all make it right. So please, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you, thank you, Chairman Lewis, for helping us. Every driver pray for you. We pray all of you to do the right things. Thank you, Mr. Overstreet, for last week, what you did for us. Without you, we wouldn't be coming back here. But Ms. Amos, I ask you this question. How many times more we need to come back here? Please, it's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. You're doing your job, we're doing our job. Let's do it together. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you, Atlanta.
So I just, first of all, I did remove my name. Certainly I did. But I removed it for fairness. I do want more, another meeting with the key stakeholders to happen. Are you saying you do not want that to happen?
We don't need any more meetings.
No more meetings.
No more meetings.
Okay, so
I'm asking the question, how many times?
That's something you can't decide now how many times, because the reason I removed my name was certainly not because I just assumed that something nefarious was happening. I removed it, but I removed it because I thought that there should be another meeting for a fair process. But if you guys are not interested in another meeting, that's a whole different conversation that Chairman Amos will have with, you know, the organization as a whole. But that's a different story from what we understood. We were understanding that you wanted the right people at the table, and that is what I was supporting. So just
And
Just so
that
we're
is
clear.
true. Like I said, we've been working on this since January. We thought we had the right people at the table. 2 weeks ago, we find out that those people were not representing the majority of the drivers. So at that time, yes, we did send it back with the understanding there was to be another meeting. Now here's another course change that they're saying they don't want another meeting. But even through the course of process, there still must be one other meeting, next committee meeting for us to deal with this paper. So.
Excuse me.
And so I think one person said they didn't want to have a meeting. I think everybody else is open to a second meeting. Only one person said that. And I think he'd be open to it. I think what I heard him say is we don't have to meet. They just want the 7 to 10 years. They don't, from what I've heard from the drivers is they don't care about anything else in that paperwork. They want to change the 7 to 10 years. And they wouldn't, that's what I heard. Thank you.
So, and that's one of the things that are in the paper, you know. So we have Mr. Adura and Mr. Mbello will be next. Okay, Mr. Mbello. Mr. Mbello? Are you speaking? Your name, sir?
My name is Ben Ezekoli.
What was the last one? Your last name again?
Ezekoli. Ezeokoli.
And Mr. Mbello is giving you time. You have 6 minutes.
Thank you. And Councilman, we thank you for giving us the time to express ourselves. And we were here last week. I have been driving in this city. My son just turned 40 years old. I was a driver in the city when he was born. And
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please talk into the mic so we can make sure that people hear you.
All right, okay, thank you. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Okay, I said, my name is Ben Ezekoli. I'm part owner of National Cab Company. So I, along with some of these drivers here, we are living our dreams. We found National Cab Company in 1982. That company has been very active, paying the taxes. The drivers are working, they're happy. And these drivers, I was a driver when the company was formed. And I'm still a driver. And other drivers have come along and formed other companies as well. So we have so many companies in the city. And all at once, all these companies are going to be taken over by one company. This particular one company charges excessive dues, excessive fares, monthly dues, monthly insurance. That's why the driver don't drive for him. And we are going to ask, please, and all these drivers, all these other companies, please, are owned by blacks. The only one company that want to take over all of us is owned by, all these other companies are owned by minorities. They just happen to be immigrants and citizens. They worked and formed these companies. The other guy inherited his company, and we're going to suspend all our other companies and be part of him. When he charges excess dues, excess monthly dues, excess insurance, and people don't want to drive for him. So I'm urging you people to please, and we thank you for your time, to leave it the way it is. Give us the 7 years, give us the 10 years extension. Let us keep our top lights. Let us keep our science. We are doing well. These guys have children in middle school, in high school, and in colleges. I have been doing this and I've trained 3 boys in college. So this is the job I take it very, very seriously. Thank you very much.
Thanks, sir. Next, we have Wanduma Jidui. Wandumu Jidumi. You are, sir?
Joseph Timothy. My name is not on the list.
You can't speak then. Sir, are you going to use your time to speak? Yes or no?
Give it to
Okay. He is not signed up. You say you're not on the list?
because I was late, I couldn't find
We
the button.
apologize for that. Sir, are you going to use your 3 minutes to speak? So Samaru Sabuso.
Yes.
Are you speaking, sir?
Thank you very much for that. And they already speak what I want.
Thank you very much. Dajifa Muzamian. Muzoyin. Will you be speaking, sir? Your name, sir? You have 6 minutes, sir. What? What's your last name? Gotcha. Okay, sir. You have 9 minutes.
Wow, that's a lot of minutes, gentlemen. Good morning, councilmen and women, and fellow drivers. I'm so happy all of you are here today. I have only one thing to say. First, before I start, let me recognize somebody I assumed, or some people that I assumed are important. Please, may I see our leader, Shamak? Johannes? He's not here? Hey, no noise. Please, may I see George Sega? That's my case. These are the people that have been parading themselves before the city councilmen and women and before the airport authority that they are the leaders of cab industry. Now, if they are the leaders of cab industry and cab industry is on fire, they are not there to put it off, and they're not calling the fire service. How then can they come up and tell you they are representing us? So that's a clear evidence. If they ever come to this city hall and parade themselves as leaders, please use police and march them out, because they are snitches. Did I call that one right? These people are the modern days Judas who betrayed their masters. We talk with them in honesty, and they turn around and do something different. 90% of the people you see here this morning did not know about the meeting going on today. We were only lucky one of the cab company owners went to Bureau to do some business, and they said, oh, your case are coming up tomorrow. He was like, huh? Oh yeah, your leaders know about it. Which leaders? He came back to the airport and started circulating news on such a short notice. See what you have here. If this is not important to us, I don't see why all these people, including those that have already gone out, because the room is too small for all of us. So my brothers and sisters, my passionate appeal to you all. Oh, by the way, in due course, we're going to forward names of people that we know that will represent the Taxi Association of City of Atlanta. And trying to see if it will be possible for the City Council to bring back our old name. In the early 80s and 90s, we were called the ambassadors. Can anybody tell me any country in the world that his or her ambassador misrepresents her? So if we are the ambassador of the city of Atlanta, we should be working with what city of Atlanta handed us to work on. So since they changed that name, that's when all this things started cropping up. The more important things we really needed, one of them is this age limit, which they have already said. I'm not going to overemphasize it. If 10 years is appealing to you, that's fine, we go with it. After all, Uber and Lyft are going 15 years. Another thing is the old training we give to drivers. I wish that can come back again. The Bureau just stick to the inspections. We are representing the city of Atlanta, not individual company. So that name, ambassador, gives us uplifting. And I wish we should be known again by that name. My name is in the Bureau. My cab number is in the Bureau. If any customer is looking for anything, just call the number, 1111. There are not two of us. You find me. That's the number I drive. Wherever I am, they will get me. But by no name, no number, some people are proposing. That will encourage a lot of criminal activities. You have seen how Uber and Lyft have been going. Customers lie on the drivers, drivers lie on the customers. And sometimes drivers kill their customers. In the history of the city of Atlanta, how many times have anybody in the city of Atlanta had a driver kill his customer or her customer? Zero. If anybody has had it, let me know. But you all know how many times it comes up on the news. The Lyft driver killed the customer, raped the customer, dropped off the customer and went back to the house and robbed the customer. But that doesn't happen to the city of Atlanta. It is our honor and the privilege to serve the city of Atlanta, guided by the rules and regulations put down by the city of Atlanta. So the main point I stood up to talk is, please do not ever waste your time listening to Shamaki, Johannes, and John Cedar, because they are not representing us. And finally, somebody was saying, I guess he said that out of whatever feeling he had. No more meetings on this. No. Even if it takes 100 meetings to get it right, please do it and inform us. Please. It doesn't matter how many times it takes to get it right, do it. If we were going by what that my brother said, we wouldn't be here today. And the plans of Shamaki and Judge Cedar and Checkers would have been put on us, and it becomes burden. This is city of Atlanta. They make the laws. So whatever you say goes in the city of Atlanta. So you're not going to say this is their law for city of Atlanta and any person come behind and say, no, you can't do that. No. You are our eyes. You are our ears. You are our legs. So please, brothers and sisters, I urge you, and by the way, thank you first for putting that hold on it. God bless you. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Next, we have Mr. Teki. Yoma Teki. What's this is? Manet. A. Manet. I can't hear you, sir.
They're fighting for the livelihood.
Just Just can't say someone, sir. I need a name you're going to be giving it to.
Just give it to somebody who has talked.
Oh, already. Okay, thank you. Oman Wanmu? OMWUMI? Yes, sir.
I give them my time.
Who are you, sir? You said Giannis? Got you. Okay, and I heard someone else. Your name, sir? Give me your last name again. Okay, so you have 9 minutes.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody, the council members. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And I want to appreciate the council members for giving us audience today. Last week when we were here, everybody, all of the drivers, we voiced the same thing, our concerns. This legislation is not to benefit the industry, not any drivers. Because if you look at all the things that were being proposed in this legislation is, to me, it's laughable, because when I first saw this, I was telling one of the drivers, I said, this can't be true. That why will someone want to put this up as a legislation and said, okay, this is what we want, this is how we want the cab industry to operate. Why? Because it is completely against our identity. Our identity as an industry, our identity as cabs and taxis in the city of Atlanta, what we have been doing, what we have known these industries for. This is not a solution to any problem, because I asked myself, I said, okay, what is the problem that this legislation is trying to solve? What are we trying to gain from this? Who is this legislation going to benefit? What benefit is this legislation? If it is passed in its entirety, what benefit is it going to add to these industries or even to our customers, the customers that we serve? When Uber came, a lot of things happens to the cab industries, most especially in the city. All our stands where we normally have a place to stand were taken over. Everybody turned to Uber using their apps. And the only saving line that we have is the Atlanta airport. That is where we have our business. There are most drivers that don't normally work at the airport before, but now they've come back to the airport. And we like it like that. Things are picking up. At the airport, we have a stand. So when a customer is coming, they know where to get to find a taxi. So if this legislation is passed, which says that anybody can just bring your car, the airport will not disturb you, they won't inspect you, just bring your vehicle. So it simply means that those stands will be taken over by all these people. Who are these people? We might not know, just like one of the speakers said. Our background history, everything, we have it with the bureau. When I joined this industry, I did the text twice. I couldn't even tell my family that I failed for the first time. Why? Because I have to master the maps. The second time I passed, and everything was fine. The industry is being controlled the way it should be. You can't just come and say, oh, because I want to drive a taxi and you are bringing your driver's license. No, you must have an endorsement at the back of your driver's license. And this legislation will eliminate all that, meaning that anybody can come and just put his cab or his vehicle at the airport or wherever and just run as a cab driver. This is not good for the industries, and it is not good for the customers. The customers that we pick, they feel safe riding cabs. They feel glad because they know that they are going to see the mirror. They are going to see what the fear is costing them. The taxi industry is, we don't have the same operation like the Uber. We don't change the fear before the customers get to where they are going. And the customers that still take taxis, they like that. The taxi meter is very, very important, and it is useful. Yes, we know that we are in the age of digitals and everything, yes, but the taxi meters that we use now is doing what all the things that all these cellular telephone and everything we do. There is none of it that is not being taken care of presently. So if we have something that is working, why do we want to change it? And it brings me back to what I said last week. I believe it is just to fulfill the desires of some people for personal gain. Somebody stands to gain something from here. What are they going to gain? It might be from the charges they are going to give us. If this is passed, they are going to levy us for using their apps. If this is passed, we are going to lose our stand at the airport because anybody can just bring their vehicle to come and work at the airport, irrespective of their background history. If this is passed, all the people that have CPNC, some bought them their own CPNC $70,000, some $60,000. It simply means that they are going to lose that. If this is passed, it simply means that the airport will be overcrowded. Because if this is passed today, tomorrow you will see everybody. Since there is no inspection, nobody is going to tell you not to come to the airport. Everybody will come to the airport and there will be chaos. That is why we don't want this legislation to be passed. Because all these people, they will lose their job. They will lose their business. If this is passed, a lot of people will, there are going to be a lot of loss. A lot of loss in the sense that those who have purchased their CPNC, it becomes irrelevant since it's no more useful, since nobody needs it before it drives a cab in the city of Atlanta. Please, council members, please don't pass this regulation. It doesn't favor us. It doesn't favor the customer. There is nothing here that the customer will gain that they don't have now with us, with the current way the thing works. There's absolutely nothing. This is a legislation that is trying to take away our identity and try to force us to become ride shares. We are taxis, we are not ride shares. We like the meters and all the signs, everything. We love it like that. We don't need it. If anybody is so interested in this legislation, then let them go form their app and become another Uber out there. All the vehicle they want to bring to come and take our place as cabs in the airport, let them put it in this and use it outside there. If this legislation, whosoever that is championing it, if it is this good, I believe that one company out there will use it. This is a legislation that will put the cab driver, the drivers into slavery. Because we will have to be serving whosoever that is providing all these. We will have to serve.
Sir, you're over your time. I'm gonna stop you there. We have last name Merslia, Merslia. Okay. Yishak, Yishak. That's you, sir? Okay, Yishka? Yes, okay. And who are you, sir?
Oladipo.
What's your first name, sir?
Oladipo.
Gotcha. Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. You have.
I would like to thank you on behalf of the drivers for what you've done so far for the industry. But this is my case before you. In Georgia, they have a code in section, in paragraph 41, code section 40.11 that establish the right share, which means someone who is about to establish a right share company in Georgia will have to go on a network or internet service. But for a cab, for cab, the definition of a cab worldwide, it's a car licensed to transport passengers in return for payment of a fare, usually fitted with a taximeter. I think that will define the difference between rideshare and taxi cab. At the airport, when Uber first came, those taxi drivers that registered to get fares from Uber, they were cited. Why? Because they said they were not operating on the same platform. Since they have their taxi tag, they cannot operate with rideshare, because rideshare is just an industry or company that arranges fares between a driver and a passenger. They are different, and we have a bunch of laws that even help the taxi industry, like the child restraint, whereby an Uber driver must have a car seat to carry a little child, whereby in the taxi industry we don't need that. A bunch of things will be taken away from this industry. We are two different platforms, taxi cab and rideshare. So whoever is developing an app for a rideshare should compete with Uber, because these are the two companies that have been given as example in Georgia, Uber and Lyft. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Lambamu. Lambamu. Last name Mallows. M. Mallows. Malose. Oh, okay. Gatechu Mabis. Right. Next is Cadiso. T. Cadiso. Okay. That's you, sir? Choose to speak? What is your name, sir? What's your first name? Okay. You have 6 minutes.
Thank you, all of you here. And I've been doing this business for a long time. I raised 4 children. One is physician assistant. The next one is a registered nurse working 6 years at Grady, the psychiatric unit. The third one is graduating next year at the Cincinnati University of Cincinnati Medical School. He will be graduating in medicine as a dermatologist. I'm saying this, I'm not bragging about it, but we are responsible people. We are family people. This thing, we have to live as alone. If we need help, we can come to you. But this, I don't care what they are getting in there. They are not telling us. But there is nothing for us there. Nothing. I didn't see anything for me. I'm 67 years old. I'm not one working for them. One last story. I did try driving with Lyft. In 2021, I did carry an old black lady from Florida with 3 grandchildren. I carried her from 300 Peachtree to Peachtree Battle and brought her back. They charged her $68 and they paid me $28. Really? I quit since then. So we are doing okay. I don't have a lot of money, but I'm not complaining. Throw away this. We don't need it. There is nothing for us. I don't know what they have in there. What they get in, I do not know. I didn't see any. As far as I'm concerned, if there is any minor issues, yeah, we have to approve, we have to correct it. But the way it is, leave it the way it is. Please. These people who are not here today, they should come here and challenge us. They are not here. Okay? The checker guy said whatever he said, but checker has to manage their business. They have to leave me alone. If they have cars, why they cannot use their cars? Somebody told me that there were a lot of cars parked in their parking lot. I don't want to be anybody tell me what to do. We do help our customers, passengers. If they need help to put them and to put off from cars, we do help them. We unload and load their luggage all the time. I do it myself all the time. There might be here and more small issues, but we have to correct them. We have to improve them. Otherwise, we have to leave the system. It is the way it is. It is not broken. If it is not broken, why somebody want to fix it? I don't want anybody to fix it. It is already fixed. I've been doing this forever, since 1991. I just want to be left alone. Let me do my business. If they want to compete with us, with Uber and Lyft, let them do it. Please. This is not really a business. I don't know what they are getting, but I don't have anything. These people, they don't have any, none. I didn't see what I get from it. And they are not telling us what's in there for them. But there must be something for them. So please, leave us alone. If there is any improvement you need from us, you can ask us. The system is not perfect, but it's not broken. If it is not broken, there is nothing to be fixed. It is already fixed. I just want you guys to help us. Leave it alone. These 2 people earlier mentioned it. One, they said they represent me. What are they? They don't represent me. What they tell me and what they do, what they say is not the same. Okay, please, leave alone this system. The system is not broken. If it is not broken, you don't need to fix it. There might be minor changes, but that's what it is. I just want this thing to be left alone. The 10 years somebody mentioned, if you can help us with that, fine. If you don't, then you don't. My children, finally, I have 3 children, they come here to this Catholic church, feeding homeless every Saturday. I cry about it. Every Saturday. You can go to that church, Catholic church, you can find their name, Samara Nardos and Abraham. I'm crying this, I'm just tired of this nonsense. Leave us alone. If you want to check one, check us. But checker come from the side. Maybe he has some legs from the other side. The 2 people mentioned it, but they are not helping me. Maybe they are helping themselves. Okay, please, throw away this thing. I don't want to waste your time for this. If it is not broken, again, do not fix it. There is nothing to be fixed about it. Thank you.
Yeah, Walter Fernandez. Walter Fernandez. Okay. Ron Shakir.
Good morning, Ron Shakir. The history of cab drivers is part of the history of African Americans. It's part of the history of working class people all over this country, from Italians to all people who have immigrated to Atlanta to be a part of America. And it has been a part that has been a changing of what it looks like. But I remember Jose Williams being down here fighting for the voices of the taxi cab drivers. It's an issue because it's self-employment or wealth that's connected to the airport. When I hear and see the type of concerns, and I've been to plenty of meetings in the last 12 or 15 years, I have never seen the turnout like I have seen for the cries of the working people who has been a history of America. And the fact is, I'm grateful to you all to listen, but the fact is, this legislation, I believe it calls us as concerned citizens and the taxi cab drivers to be heard. When I hear Checker Cab, when I see Rick, I talk to him out in the hallway. He's open to coming together with this industry. Now, I hear things discouraging about Rick up here. Okay, well, I say it needs to be a coming together, and I would hope that you, Mr. Amos and Brother Lewis and the other members of this council work to facilitate where this type of airing that we hear today, it be a discussion where you have leaders and drivers come together in not a hostile atmosphere, but a tough atmosphere to take on the tough issues. And I think that you have done that somewhat today, but I think it needs to go beyond this. And these leaders and these employees and these family members are the same America that has always been wanting to stand up as family members and want to be able to have representation and have the freedom to be able to produce and work in their industry. The fact that I've seen hotels who have shrunk the ability for some of these here cab drivers to operate in front of locations which normally they have been to operate. And why is this here a turn against them? And I think it's, I don't know, it's a shade, but the fact is they need to be able to be heard and be able to have a free access to the market and not be impeded by threats or being shut down. But for sure, I am so happy to see so many of them turn out. And I'm telling you all who may listen to this broadcast later on, I have never seen a come out as strong and as great as this. And I think that recognize the fact that the issues need to be heard. And but I hope that we don't get into name calling, but talk about the real issues of the taxi industry and cars for hire. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Ferree. F-E-R-E, Mr. Ferree. Abdullah Hakeem. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Abdi Ahmed. Okay. We got Got people signed in on 2 pages. Mr. Berry, Berry. Okay. Jalou, Jalllow, look like it. Perfect. Muhammad Duali. Okay. Muhammad Abdi, ABDI. What is this? YANISF, look like it. First initial M. Okay. I'm sorry, sir, the sign-in sheet has been closed for a while. Malanets, look like it. Maleaux. Unatu, EWNETU. Mr. Overton, if you can tell the airport we're wrapping up for the presentation. Hagos, Hagous, looks like it. First initial Y. Okay. Yusuf Muhammad. First initial A, last name Diallo. Yes, Diallo. Yes. You have 3 minutes, sir.
Okay. Number one, this guy from the Atlanta meter, maybe you can allow him if he's want to speak. This guy right here, he's from Atlanta meter. That's number one. Number two, I want to bring something never been, everybody talked about it. It's about the airport. The customer asking, we don't have any sign inside the airport. We have any sign inside the airport. The customer asking, where's your sign? I said, they not allowed us to have a sign inside the airport. Any other company, rental car, overlift, everybody have a sign inside the airport, the whole way, everybody. But they not allow the taxi to have any sign inside the airport. We want to add that for us, we can be able to have the sign inside the airport. And then the second, all this we have right now, I'm not gonna add anything. We want anything we have right now, we can all that remain. We don't want nothing else. Just if you give it to us 10 years, we want that. Otherwise, we don't want anything else come to it. What we have, we happy with that. We asking you, please let us stay, remain what they are, the same way they are. Don't add nothing, don't take out nothing. Just we need 10 years, if you can give it to us that, and then to have the sign inside the airport, because everybody have the sign inside the airport, we don't have one. Thank you so much.
Next we have Mr. Abio, ABIYO. First initial A. And next we have Mr. Usman, USMAN, Nesra. Okay. With that being said, that'll bring us to the end of public comment. I am sorry, you need to be able to sign in. It would be unfair to others that we have not allowed to speak because they did not sign in. So I am, if my colleagues are listening, we need a quorum.
private or also public place. Just ask you one question. As far as we tax cab drivers concerned, any information that comes from city of Atlanta have to be transparent and public. The meetings that you held today and last Monday was secret. We don't know anything about it. No one of us. Everyone knows this. No. It's a secret. And I'll ask you a question. The question is, why is secret? Why we don't know nothing about this? We came yesterday, 4:45, Mr. Ahmed Abdi, get the information both last Monday and this Monday. Why?
Okay, sir, I will answer your question. If you want to have a further conversation, we can after this meeting. No City of Atlanta meeting is private. We publicize all of our meetings. Our agendas are public, right? I'm answering your question. So I push back when you say it was done in secret. None of our meetings, the Atlanta City Council committees or full council meetings, are done in secret. The mistake that was made is that we did not have the right representatives at the table when we started this conversation. Sir, if we want to continue the conversation, please, after the meeting, because we have to finish this committee. I will be around. Mr. Overton, what we doing? Okay, thank you. Seems like we got a quorum back in action, but I may still be in jeopardy of losing a quorum. So we're going to make a quick change to the agenda after speaking to the aviation department that is here, ready to make a presentation. We will actually push that to another date because we definitely want everyone here to hear the news and that they're ready to present. Do we have a date for that, Mr. Overton?
The proposed date would be May the 8th, the next Transportation Committee
So
meeting.
our quarterly aviation update will be given at our May 8th meeting. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen from the aviation department, for being here. And plus you was here to hear the concerns of the other taxi drivers as well. So I know we got a big day tomorrow at the airport, so please get back to work. So with that being said, Mr. Overton, that'll bring us to our consent agenda. Please sound the caption.
Yes, sir. Item number 1, 24-01205, an ordinance by the Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee to apply for the 2024 Local Maintenance and Improvement Grant funding from the Georgia Department of Transportation. If awarded, to accept such funding and enter into any necessary agreements for grant participation and implementation. To authorize the Chief Financial Officer to amend the fiscal year 2024 intergovernmental grant fund budget by adding to anticipations and appropriations in an amount not to exceed $4,791,176.36 for the local maintenance improvement grant and for other purposes. Item number 2, 24-01206, an ordinance by the Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee on behalf of the Atlanta Department of Transportation to amend the fiscal year 2024 intergovernmental grant fund budget by adding to anticipations and appropriations grant funds awarded through the 2019 Transportation Improvement Program from the Atlanta Regional Commission in order to conduct a scoping study to assess the cost and feasibility for roadway improvements to CS 716, CS 3498, Marietta Boulevard from CS 13 Cornet Way to State Road 8. Identification number listed herein in an amount not to exceed $800,000.00 and for other purposes. Item number 3, 24-01207, an ordinance by the Transportation Committee authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to amend the fiscal year 2024 intergovernmental grant fund budget by adding to anticipations and appropriations an amount not to exceed $3,560.00 for the Donald Lee, Hollowell, and Fulton Industrial Boulevard Intersection Improvement Project on behalf of the Atlanta Department of Transportation and for other purposes. Item number 4, 24-01208, an ordinance by the Transportation Committee to ratify the submission of an application for grant funding from the Governor's Office of Planning and Budget Improving Neighborhood Outcomes in Disproportionately Impacted Communities grant program to authorize the mayor or his designee to accept awarded grant funding to amend fiscal year 2024 intergovernmental grant fund budget by adding to anticipations and appropriations in an amount not to exceed $6,468,654.50 to increase the budget amount authorized by the Georgia Department of Transportation for the implementation of sidewalk replacement projects at various locations, including the Atlanta University Center, Washington Park, and West Side Beltline connections, to enter into any necessary grant agreements for grant acceptance and participation and for other purposes. Item number 5, 24-01209, an ordinance by the Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee on behalf of the City of Atlanta to enter into an airport use and lease agreement with Avello Airlines, Incorporated at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport for use of the airfield and the Central Passenger Terminal Complex for initial term beginning May 1st, 2024, with the option to renew for a successive term of 5 years through no later than June 30th, 2036, and for other purposes. Item number 6, 24-01210, an ordinance by the Transportation Committee waiving Article 10, Division 4 of the Procurement and Real Estate Code of the City of Atlanta, Georgia Code of Ordinances, to authorize the mayor or his designee on behalf of the City of Atlanta to execute a contract with the American Association of Airport Executives to enable Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport to serve as a host the 2025 annual conference and exposition of the American Association of Airport Executives, to authorize the payment of $650,000.00 to be paid for the conference-related costs. All contractor work we charged to and paid from account numbers listed herein and for other purposes. Item number 7, 24-01211, an ordinance by the Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee on behalf of the City of Atlanta to enter into an airport use and lease agreement with Scandinavian Airlines of North America Incorporated at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport for the use of the airfield and Central Passenger Terminal Complex for initial term of 5 years, beginning June 1st, 2024, with the option to renew for successive terms of 5 years through no later than June 30th, 2036, and for other purposes. Item
Thanks,
number
sir.
8. Sorry.
Item number 8?
Yeah.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Item number 8, 24-01212, an ordinance by the Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee on behalf of the City of Atlanta to enter into lease agreements with Southwest Airlines Company for an aircraft maintenance hangar, aircraft parking, employee parking on track 6A at 340 North Outer Loop Road, located at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, waiving the lease of the city-owned real property requirements contained in Section 2-1547, Article 10 of the Procurement and Real Estate Code of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances, as well as any other conflicting code provisions and for other purposes. And item number 9, 24-01213, an ordinance by the Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee on behalf of the City of Atlanta to enter into an airport use and lease agreement with Sun County Incorporated, the airfield and Central Passenger Terminal Complex for initial term beginning February 1st, 2024, with the option to renew for consecutive terms of 5 years through no later than June 30th, 2036, and for other purposes.
Thank you, sir. As you take a deep breath, I do see our colleague, Councilmember Norwood, in the office. If you're here for a piece of specific legislation, I'd like to take that first so we can get you, release you. So if you would find that legislation, sound the caption, and tell us where it is, we can go from there.
It would be item number 20 on page 9 of the, or page... On page 5 of the agenda, item number 20. There is a motion to amend this item.
Motion to amend?
The amendment is to add 2 additional people to the task force, 2 additional positions. One is NPUE, which has a very small part of District 8, but is part of District 8. And the other is the Buckhead Condo Alliance, because condo owners wanted to be part of the discussion.
So let's open that motion to amend so we can pass it.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Okay, the amended motion is in front of us. Motion to approve.
I need to read the caption before.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Item number 20, that is 24R3442, a resolution as amended by the Transportation Committee by Councilmember Mary Norwood, establishing a transportation task force for the purpose of creating a transportation plan to address District 8's traffic congestion, to increase safety for residents, businesses, commuters, and visitors, and to improve the quality of life for all those who travel through or in District 8 and for other purposes.
Now motion to approve. Second. Motion made and second. Please open the vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Motion is favorable. Thank you. Is that the only piece that you have?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Committee.
Okay, that brings us to our regular agenda. As our analysts take another deep breath, we have already handled number 10, which is the taxi cab paper. That paper was held in committee, which moves us to number 11. As he prepared to read the caption, please, colleagues, remember, unless we have any specific questions, there'll be no comments from the departments. So let me know if you have a question when we get to whatever piece of legislation. Let's over to.
Item number 11, 24-01154, an ordinance by Councilmember Jason Dozer authorizing the mayor or his designee on behalf of the city of Atlanta to abandon portions of Mitchell Street, Raymond Street, James P. Brawley Drive, consisting of approximately 1.264 acres lying and being inland lot 109 of the 14th District, Fulton County, Georgia, and being more specifically described in the attached exhibits. Authorizing the mayor or his designee to execute a quitclaim deed for such abandoned right-of-way and any other documents necessary to effectuate the abandonment of 2 Clark Atlanta University and for other purposes. Mr. Chair, there is a request for a motion to hold this item.
Councilmember Dozier.
I support.
Second. Motion's been made and second. Open the vote.
Can we repeat the seconder?
I am the second. Motion made by Councilmember Dozier.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
It's favorable. Next item.
Item number 12, 24-01167, an ordinance by the Transportation Committee authorizing the City of Atlanta to waive the competitive procurement source selection provisions contained in Section 2-1187 of Article 10 Procurement and Real Estate Code of the Atlanta Code of Ordinances, as well as any other conflicting code provisions on behalf of the Department of Aviation to ratify services rendered in connection with Agreement FC 10751, Plane Train Tunnel, West Extension Vehicles at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport with Alstrom Transportation USA, formerly Bombardier Transportation Holdings USA Incorporated, beginning February 6, 2024, and to extend the term of the agreement for 5 years from February 6, 2024 through December 5th, 2029, with a single 2-year renewal option, and partially fund the next phase of design and purchase of 29 new plane train vehicles for an initial amount not to exceed $8,699,675.00. All services will be charged to and paid from the account numbers listed herein and for other purposes.
Motion to approve. Second. Motion made and second. Please open the vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Item is favorable. Next item.
Item number 13, 24-01183, an ordinance by Councilmember Marcy Collier Overstreet to ratify the submission of an application for the Atlanta Regional Commission Transportation Improvement Program in an amount not to exceed $10 million and 0 cents to be utilized for the construction of the Atlanta Beltline Southside Trail, to accept the funding awarded, to authorize the mayor or his designee to execute any necessary agreements to accept the award grant participation, to amend the fiscal year 2024 intergovernmental budget by adding to anticipations and appropriations an amount not to exceed $10 million and 0 cents and for other purposes.
Motion to approve. Motion made and second. Open the vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
The item is favorable. I have a question procedure. I have a request to add a council member's name. In order to do that, we would have to make a motion to reconsider, correct? Then come back and amend the paper.
Yes.
So my question is, would it be easier to do it here before we send it to full council, or as we take it to council, or it still be just as cumbersome?
It's the same.
Okay. You want to add your name?
Yes, I want to add my name.
So motion to reconsider, seconded by Amos.
Motion to reconsider vote is open.
Okay, so the paper is back in front of us, and you make a motion. Motion to add council member.
Motion to add my name to this legislation.
Second.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Name is added now. Make a motion to approve the amended legislation. There's a motion made in second. I believe there's discussion as well.
So this will complete the South Side. This will go from Pittsburgh Yards to Councilmember Winston's district. I'm extremely excited. Thinking about the kids at Carver High School, the young folks on Metropolitan Parkway who can now take this shortcut. If you live in Pittsburgh, you can now get to your side of the district. This will be the completion of the entire South Side. Senator John Ossoff led this off with a $5 million investment, and I'm extremely excited for where this will take us. Thank you again to the Atlanta Beltline for thinking about the South Side, and to the mayor's office for getting it done.
Thank you. There's a motion on the floor that has been made in second. Open the vote.
Can we repeat the mover and the seconder, please?
I move to approve the amended legislation that was seconded by Councilmember Lewis.
Okay. Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Item is adopted. Next item.
Can we, if no one on the council has any objections, can we take item number 14 and 15 as a block? Okay. Item number 14, 24-01184, an ordinance by Councilmember Amir Faroqi requesting the mayor or his designee to install no parking signs to restrict parking on the north side of Druid Place Northeast from Moreland Avenue Northeast to Felder Avenue Northeast, to waive City Code Section 150-92 of the Atlanta City Code of Ordinances, and for other purposes. Item number 15, an ordinance by Councilmember Amir Faroqi requesting the mayor or his designee to install no parking signs to restrict parking on the south side of Rankin Street Northeast, stretching 50 yards to the east of Garden Park Drive Northeast, to waive City Code Section 150-92 of the Atlanta City Code of Ordinances, and for other purposes.
Councilmember Faroqi. Second.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Items are favorable. That takes us to our resolutions. Item number 16.
Item number 16, 24R3435, resolution by Councilmember Jason Dozer requesting the mayor or his designee to make the intersection of Inman Street Southwest and Sellis Avenue Southwest and Inman Street Southwest and Greenwich Street Southwest and all-way stop-controlled intersections, to request the Atlanta Department of Transportation to install stop signs at the intersections, and for other purposes. Mr. Chair, there is a request for a motion to hold this item by the Atlanta Department of Transportation.
Motion to hold.
Second.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Item is favorable. Next item.
Item number 17, Mr.
I'm
Chair.
sorry, the item will be held in committee. I'm sorry. Now next item.
Item number 17, Mr. Chair, there is a request for a substitute to this item.
Motion to bring forward a motion to substitute. Please open the vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed. Item number 17, 24R3436, a resolution by Councilmember Amir Faroqi as substituted by the Transportation Committee. A resolution requesting that the Commissioner of the Atlanta Department of Transportation install leading pedestrian intervals at all intersections where the requisite technology exists and the characteristics align with the forthcoming ATLDOT LPI implementation plan and guidelines and for other purposes.
Please open the vote. As we doing that, Mr. Terry, can you see if my colleague Overstreet is in the office so we can maintain a quorum?
Vote is open.
I guess I need to vote.
Vote is closed.
Item is favorable. Next item.
Item number 18, 24R3439, a resolution by Councilmember Liliana Bakhtiari requesting the mayor or his designee install traffic calming devices on Tillotson Drive Southeast in order to reduce speeding and for other purposes.
Motion to approve.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Item is favorable. Next item.
Next item, item number 19, 24R3440, a resolution by Councilmember Byron D. Amos authorizing the mayor or his designee to apply for, and if awarded, accept federal funding from the Atlanta Regional Commission, Georgia Department of Transportation, United States Department of Transportation, and any partner organization on behalf of the Atlanta Department of Transportation for the purpose of participating in the 2024 Transportation Improvement Program call for projects and for other purposes.
Motion to approve.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Item is favorable. Next item, I believe, which will be item number 21, correct?
Yes. Item number 21, Mr. Chair, there is a request for a motion to amend this item.
Motion to amend.
The amendment in question just cleans up some language throughout the legislation.
Thank you.
The vote is open. Vote is closed.
Minute item is before us.
Okay. Item number 21, 24R3443, a resolution by Councilmember Marcy Collier Overstreet as amended by the Transportation Committee, a resolution authorizing the mayor or his designee to install traffic calming devices, speed tables on Venetian Drive Southwest from Cascade Road to Delow Drive Southwest and for other purposes.
Motion to approve.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
The item is favorable.
Hey.
I believe that takes us to our next item, 22.
Yep, item number 22. Sorry, one second. Oh, I messed them up. So that was actually item number 22. This is item number 21. Yeah. Item number 22, 24R3444. A resolution by Councilmember Marcy Collier Overstreet authorizing the mayor or his designee to install traffic calming devices on Venetian Drive from Cascade. Oh, I just read this. So, okay, I see what happened. Okay, sorry. Item number 22, 24R3444. A resolution by Councilmember Marcy Collier Overstreet and Jason Dozer, requesting the mayor or his designee to install traffic calming devices on Soundtown Road Southwest between Cascade Road and Cascade Road Southwest and Central Villa Drive Southwest in order to reduce speeding and for other purposes. Vote is open.
So we're good? Because I had the same question. Okay.
Yeah.
So the item is favorable. Everyone has voted? Good.
All right.
Brings us to the next item.
Item number 23, 24R3530, a resolution by the Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee on behalf of the Atlanta Department of Transportation to execute a project management agreement with Midtown Business Association doing business as the Midtown Alliance for the 15th Street Safe Street Corridor in an amount not to exceed $1,900,000.00. All contracted work will be charged to and paid from the account numbers listed herein and for other purposes.
Motion to approve. Please open the vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Item is favorable. Next item.
Item number 24, 24R3531, a resolution by the Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee to execute renewal option number 1 with Brooks, Benny, Heine and Associates Incorporated for the contract number listed herein, traffic signal and communication project combo number 4 on behalf of the Atlanta Department of Transportation for traffic signal upgrades, pedestrian signals, ADA ramp improvements, and traffic signal removal, and minor improvements in the term of 1 year with no additional funding required and for other purposes.
Motion to approve.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
The item is favorable. I do have one question for ADOT. If you can answer it, if not, please get it to me at a later date. With this paper we just approved, I think, and I was looking for the number, we just did one that allow audible signals at the, I think it was Farouk's paper. Do they intertwine, they interject, how are they working together? Or do we have to go back and do a whole nother something to get the signals?
So Councilmember Solomon Cavanagh, ATL DOT, we'll have to get back to you on the details of that.
All right,
the Councilmember Farouk's paper had to do with leading pedestrian intervals, and that gives pedestrians time before traffic goes. So let us get you a write-up on how that all works.
Okay, thank you. Next item.
Item number 25, a resolution by the Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee to execute renewal option number 1 with Brooks, Berry, Heine Associates Incorporated for a contract number listed herein, traffic signal and communication project traffic combo number 1 on behalf of the Atlanta Department of Transportation for a term of 1 year with no additional funding required and for other purposes.
Motion to approve.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Item is favorable. Next item.
Next item, item number 26, 24R3533, a resolution by the Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee on behalf of the City of Atlanta to enter into an amendment encroachment agreement with ACEF-LCD Metropolitan LLC for the purpose of allowing an installed overhang element onto public airspace above the right-of-way located at 130 Lucky Street, Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia, 30303, and for other purposes.
That's motion to approve. Okay. Motion has been made and second.
Vote is open. Can all council members please vote? Vote is closed.
Do we have a question for A. Dot, or we can move forward? Okay. All right, next item.
Next item number 27, 24R3534, a resolution by the Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee on behalf of the City of Atlanta to execute the encroachment agreement with Google Fiber Georgia LLC for the installation and attachment of a 2-inch rigid metal conduit to house 48-strand fiber optic cable on or underneath the Waluka Bridge Road Bridge over Nancy Creek and Waluka Road, Northeast Atlanta, Georgia, 30342, and for other purposes.
Motion to approve.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Item is favorable. Next item.
Item number 28, 24R3535, a resolution by the Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee to enter into amendment number 1 to the preliminary engineering agreement with CSX Transportation Incorporated for the replacement of the Central Avenue Bridge, to authorize the Chief Financial Officer to issue a direct payment to CSX Transportation Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $10,750.00, and for other purposes.
Motion to approve. Motion been made and second. Please open the vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Thank you. And next item.
Item number 29, 24R3536, a resolution by the Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee on behalf of the Atlanta Department of Transportation to execute a property management agreement with the Fulton Industrial Community Improvement District for the Donald Lee Hollowell and Fulton Industrial Boulevard Intersection Improvement Project in an amount not to exceed $3,560.00. All contractor work to be charged to and paid from the fund department organization and account numbers listed herein, and for other purposes.
Motion to approve.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Item is favorable. Next item.
Item number 30, 24R3537, a resolution by the Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee to execute the Second Amendment to the agreement listed herein for the right-of-way maintenance with Russell Landscape LLC on behalf of the Atlanta Department of Transportation to add funding the amount not to exceed $718,082.76. All contracted work will be charged to and paid from the department organization and account numbers listed herein, and for other purposes.
Motion to approve.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Item is favorable. Next item.
Item number 31, 24R3538, a resolution by the Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee on behalf of the City of Atlanta to execute an encroachment agreement with the Google Fiber Georgia LLC for the installation and attachment of a 2-inch rigid metal conduit to house 434-strand fiber optic cable on or underneath the Bleacher Road Bridge over Utoy Creek and Bleacher Road Southwest, Atlanta, Georgia, 30310, and for other purposes.
Motion to approve.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Item is favorable. Next item.
Next item, item number 32, 24R3539, a resolution by the Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee to execute the change order with Atlanta Airlines Terminal Company Vertical Transportation Modernization Phase 1 at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport in an amount not to exceed $9,347,051.00. All services will be charged to and paid from the account numbers listed herein, and for other purposes.
Motion to approve.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
think that item is favorable. I think that moves us to the end of our regular agenda to dual refer items. I don't think there's none. Do we have any papers held in committee coming off?
Yes, we have two.
Okay, go ahead.
The first one is item number 42. And we do have a substitute for this item as well.
Motion to substitute.
The vote is open. And for the record, the substitute edits the recitals to direct the ATL DOT to provide a list of all fatal and serious injury transportation crashes within 250 feet of the subject of a fatal vehicle crash within the past 10 years.
Thank you. Think I've seen the motion pass. Substitute motion is in front of us.
Item number 42, 24-01039. A substitute ordinance by the Transportation Committee, a substitute ordinance by the council members Dustin Hillis, Matt Westmoreland, Liana Bakhtiari, and Jason Dozer, as amended by the Transportation Committee to amend Ordinance 23-0-1300, adopted by the Atlanta City Council on June 20th, 2023, and approved by operational law on June 29th, 2023, to rename the Atlanta Fatal Vehicle Collision Review Commission to the Atlanta Fatal Crash Review Commission, to modify commission membership so that City Council shall appoint 3 members from its body to serve on the commission for a term of 2 years, and to modify the duties of the commission and related city departments for other purposes.
Second.
Vote is open. Can council members please vote? Vote is closed.
Item is favorable. Next item coming off held.
Next item coming off held is item number 45. There is also a substitute for this item as well.
Motion to substitute.
And for the record, this substitute updates edits the language to bring the paper more in compliance with state code and state law. Sorry. Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Substitute is before us.
Item number 45, 24-01146, an ordinance by council members Dustin R. Hillis and Matt Westmoreland as substituted by the Transportation Committee, an ordinance to amend Ordinance 24-01108, adopted by the Atlanta City Council on March 18, 2024, and approved by operational law on March 27, 2024, such that Exhibit A attached thereto shall identify Ridgewood Road as road for which the speed limit should be lowered from 35 miles per hour to 25 miles per hour, to provide that this change should be submitted to the Georgia Department of Transportation for approval for the use of speed detection devices, and to provide that the reduction in speed limit on Ridgewood Road shall become effective upon the adoption and approval of this ordinance, as well as the posting of appropriate signage. To provide that upon any necessary approval by the Georgia Department of Transportation, enforcement of such speed limits which state-approved speed detection devices shall commence upon the receipt of the necessary permit from the Georgia Department of Public Safety, and the posting of the appropriate signage in accordance with Georgia state law.
Motion to approve.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Item is favorable. That takes us to our walk-in legislation. I believe we have one piece.
You have one piece of walk-in legislation. It's ELMS ID 35213. It's an ordinance by the Finance Executive Committee, an ordinance to waive Chapter 2, Article 9, Division 1, Section 2-1910, grant applications, and to ratify the City of Atlanta's submission of an application to apply for and accept an award for the fiscal year 2022 Highway Infrastructure Program from the U.S. Department of Transportation Federal Highway Administration in an amount not to exceed $5 million and 0 cents to be utilized for the construction of the Atlanta Beltline Southside Trail, to authorize the mayor or his designee to execute any necessary agreements to accept the award, to amend fiscal year 2024 intergovernmental budget by adding to anticipations and appropriations an amount not to exceed $5,000,000. All funds to be charged to and paid from account numbers listed herein and for other purposes. It's a first read, so there's nothing.
First read?
Yeah, nothing's
Better
required.
slow me down then, slow me down. Okay. With that being said, I think that brings us to the end of our agenda. Okay. Any announcements, comments, remarks? Councilmember Doge?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll be very brief. I just wanted to invite not only my district, District 4, but also anyone in the city of Atlanta who's currently looking for a job opportunity. Our office is partnering with Emory University, Emory Healthcare, City of Atlanta, as well as Centennial Yards, the organization or the redevelopment of the Gulch, for a job expo, which will be held in Mechanicsville on April the 30th, next Tuesday, from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. So we'll be there all day. We will have industry leaders. We got IT jobs. We'll have admin jobs. We'll have law enforcement positions. Come on out if you know anyone in your household or in your community looking for a job opportunity. Send them our way to Mechanicsville, 477 Winter Street at Dunbar Neighborhood Center next Tuesday, April 30th, from 12 to 6 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilmember Overstreet.
Yes, I just want to send out a congratulations and a thank you to the Atlanta Hawks, as well as State Farm Insurance, for putting together a beautiful celebration of the Young Family YMCA. That's Andrew Young and Dr. Walter Young YMCA on Campbellton Road last Thursday. It was an installation of the newest, actually the 10th and the second in District 11, Good Neighbor Club, and the court was dedicated to Dominique Wilkins. His signature human highlight profile is center court now, and that $10 million renovation that's happening at the Y right now was being showcased in a beautiful way. And so I just want to say thank you very much to the Hawks and to State Farm Insurance for my second Good Neighbor Club.
Thank you. Any other comments? Just like to say thank you for everybody taking this ride with us today. My apologies to the aviation department. I know you guys was here ready to make your presentation, but you see we was pushing for time, so thank you for being flexible. We are looking forward to your presentation May 8th, I think it will.
The next Transportation Committee meeting is actually May 15th, so we'll do it then.
Okay, so they're coming back to present Dan, so thank you for that. I see Malda in the room. ADOT is always in the room. Everybody else, thank you, thank you, thank you. We stand adjourned.